Welcome back, everyone! Today, we're diving into a fascinating topic that blends science fiction with some real-world implications. So, I recently watched this thought-provoking movie called I Am Mother. It's set in a post-apocalyptic world where humanity has been wiped out, and in this underground shelter, there are 63,000 human embryos. A robot raises one of these embryos, and it got me thinking, what would happen to babies born in isolation? How would they communicate? What language would they speak? It's a wild concept, right?
Oh, wow, that sounds super intriguing. Babies raised by a robot? That's like something out of a sci-fi novel. But wait, you mentioned language deprivation experiments? What are those exactly? Like, did they really think they could just raise babies without talking to them? That's, kind of cruel, isn't it?
Absolutely. These experiments, often referred to as forbidden experiments, were conducted throughout history to understand the origins of language and human nature. One notable example dates back to around 600 BC, when the Pharaoh of Egypt ordered two newborns to be raised by a shepherd without any communication. Can you imagine that? These babies ended up developing their own language, with their first word being bikos, which meant bread in the language of the Phrygians. It's like they created their own little world.
Whoa, that's mind-blowing. So, they just, invented a language? What if they had said something totally random like banana instead of bread? That would have changed everything. And, did they ever find out what happened to those babies? Like, did they grow up to be normal, or...
Well, that's the thing, most of these experiments were shrouded in mystery and often ended tragically. In the 13th century, there was another experiment where newborns were raised with minimal human interaction to discover their native language. The guesses ranged from Hebrew to Greek, but the results were often heartbreaking. It really highlights the cruelty involved in these studies. It's like playing God without understanding the consequences.
Yikes, that's really dark. But, what about those wild children? You mentioned a girl named Oksana who was raised by dogs. How did that even happen? Did she, bark or something? That's, kind of like a real-life Tarzan story, right?
Exactly. Oksana was found in Ukraine, and she had been living with dogs for several years. She communicated in their language, which is fascinating, but also tragic. Most of these wild children never develop typical language skills. It's a stark reminder of how crucial social interaction is for language development. And speaking of social interaction, there's also the case of deaf children in Nicaragua who created their own sign language when they were brought together in a special school. It's incredible how the human brain seeks to communicate, even in isolation.
That's so cool. So, it's like language is just this innate thing we have, right? But, what about the movie? How does the robot in I Am Mother communicate with the child? Does it, teach her a language or something?
Great question. The robot communicates with the child as a mother would, which eliminates the need for the child to invent a new language. It raises some ethical questions about isolation and the nature of language. The film suggests that understanding ourselves and our thoughts might be a more effective way to explore the essence of humanity. It's a profound commentary on what it means to be human in a world where communication is so vital.
Wow, that's deep. So, do you think if we were all isolated, we'd just, invent our own languages? What if everyone started speaking in emojis? That would be, hilarious, but also kind of sad, right?
Haha, right? Imagine a world where we're all just sending emojis to communicate. But in all seriousness, it's a testament to our need for connection. Language is more than just words. It's about sharing experiences and emotions. And that's what makes us human.
Yeah, I can totally see that. Emojis could be the new hieroglyphics. Laughs. But, what if we lost the ability to express deeper feelings? That would be, kind of scary, don't you think?